In a food safety system, it's essential to establish crucial control points, or CCPs. These points are where we can prevent, eliminate, or reduce food safety hazards to an acceptable level. To ensure these CCPs are effective, we set critical limits. What are critical limits? Think of a critical limit as a boundary. It's the maximum or minimum value that a specific measure, like temperature or time, must stay within to guarantee safety. These limits differentiate between safe and unsafe conditions during food production. How are critical limits determined? Each CCP has one or more control measures to manage the identified hazards. Each of these control measures, in turn, has one or more critical limits. These limits can be based on a variety of factors, including time and temperature, how long a product needs to be cooked or chilled, physical dimensions, the size or thickness of a food item, other measurable factors. This could include humidity, moisture level, acidity, or pH, and the presence of preservatives. Sensory information. Sometimes even things like aroma and appearance can have critical limits. The key is that critical limits must be rooted in scientific evidence. This evidence can come from regulatory standards, research publications, experiments, or expert opinions. Let's say we're cooking beef patties. Our hazard analysis identifies harmful bacteria like E. coli as a potential hazard. Cooking is the step where we can control this risk. To set critical limits, we need solid data on the likely number of bacteria in the raw patties, how resistant these bacteria are to heat, factors that influence how the patties cook, like patty thickness and oven temperature, and the area of the patty that takes the longest to cook. This information allows us to determine the precise cooking temperature and time needed to eliminate the bacteria. For example, we might find that an internal temperature of 155 degrees Fahrenheit for 16 seconds is required. To achieve this consistently, we might set critical limits for oven temperature and humidity, cooking time controlled by belt speed in a commercial oven, and patty thickness and ingredients. By controlling these factors, we can ensure that all our patties meet the required safety standard. In another facility, the critical limits might simply be the internal patty temperature of 155 degrees Fahrenheit for 16 seconds. This facility would then constantly monitor the internal temperature of the patties as they come out of the oven to ensure the critical limits are always met. Key takeaway: critical limits are scientifically determined boundaries that ensure food safety hazards are controlled at critical control points.